At the outset, I would like to congratulate you on the short presentation that you gave. Some of the pieces were extremely powerful and they go home very hard. It just shows what one can do if one puts one's energies in a particular direction, the right direction. In India today, perhaps in the world today, we are facing a period of change the like of which has not been seen ever before, partly because of new technologies that are available, but perhaps more than that because of a new thinking that is taking place around the world. For the first time, we have started looking at the world, looking at humanity as one integrated whole. We have started realizing that for surviving, it depends on the survival of the whole of humanity. India has played a major role in bringing about this change in thinking. This has been part of our traditional thinking for thousands of years. Mahatma Gandhi, the father of the nation, revived it during the freedom struggle, and during these past 42 years of freedom, we have been struggling hard to bring this new thinking to the world. For the first time during these last few years, we find that global thinking has started to change. At the same time, the old system fights back very hard. There is a tendency, on the other hand, to look at the world as one. There is an equal attempt to keep the old systems going by just changing the projection. The poorer countries, the weaker countries still have a net outflow of wealth. The next phase seems to be getting into economic groups, which in a sense is no different. It is just a different form of exploitation. So we have to fight that as well. India has given a lead during these past decades, and it will have to give the lead in the coming years also. But to give the lead, we need to do certain things at home. We need to be strong and clear in our minds about where we want to go. Our strength traditionally has been that we have always looked beyond the material into certain higher values, perhaps spiritual values. We have looked beyond immediate gains. We have always tried to work for certain ideals. Today, this basic Indian thinking is coming under very severe attack, partially from you, because the real attack is from the materialistic attitude that is coming into our society. That is why I am glad to be with you here today to try and turn your attention not to just selling but also at building the nation that we want to build. For that, we need to first look within and see what we need, preserve, and what the problems are and the difficulties in preserving it. The biggest attack on our traditional thinking, on our culture and civilization, is from materialism, which is being brought in partly because of growth, development, because people have access to goods and facilities which they did not have access to earlier, because their incomes have grown, because their standards of living have gone up. The way India has grown during these past 8 or 9 years is well beyond what we have ever expected. These problems are going to get compounded. I expect our growth rate to increase even more in the coming years, so these pressures will increase even more. Therefore, we must be very clear in our minds about the sort of nation we want to build. At the same time, we must always keep in mind the biggest danger in going down a purely materialistic route is that we will ultimately surrender the independence we won. Perhaps the change in our thinking that is taking place and new technologies that are coming up would help us in this direction. Dear sir, in reply to your letter of the 6th August, we wish to state that your order for 100 small boxes was executed strictly in accordance with your instructions. We are surprised to learn from your letter that you have received only 80 and more than 20 of them were badly damaged. We thought that the shortage and damage must have taken place in transit. As per your instructions in the order, we have handed over the goods to the railway authorities and have obtained a clean receipt. In the circumstances, the railway authorities are to be held responsible for the shortage and damage. We are extremely sorry that the goods have not reached you safely. At the same time, we regret our inability to own any responsibility for the same. We would therefore suggest that you may take up the matter with the railway authorities. As regards further supply of replacement boxes lost or damaged, we are ready to dispatch as many as you require on receipt of full details from you. We wish to make it clear that we shall have to charge for them. However, in the present circumstances, we are prepared to bear the freight and shall be glad to offer you 2% additional discount in addition to 5% we generally allow as a special case.